So I'm going to show you how I do poodle feet here on Kaiser. He's clearly been growing for quite some time. So I'm going to do a 15 just to make sure that he doesn't burn. What I like to do is I like to start from the underside first, and I'll take out the insides here. And I come back this way to get those close to the pad there. So then what I do is I like to come from the toenail and you come up to this bone. This is your stopping point, is at, you can feel, when you feel there's this bone, and that's where you want to stop. So I'll go ahead and shave up to that point. So then I'll separate this toe. You want to be careful not to dig your finger into their foot or they'll probably fight you. And you'll notice too, I'm holding his foot in a natural position for him. I'm not pulling it out here. That's uncomfortable. And that's a lot of times you'll get poodles fighting you because you're holding their foot in an uncomfortable position. So I like to get as much as I can from the underside. That makes it a lot easier when you go to the top side. So I'll come here and get in between these toes. I'm being careful to not take my clippers toward the webbing of the feet. You can cut this, it's very thin here, you can cut that very easily if you're not careful at the direction your clippers are. So I'm always careful to go with the flat of the inside of that foot so that I don't risk cutting it. And so then again over here, I'm going to take up to that bone. And then, it's hard with his hair being so long on his legs, but you're going to do the same thing. You're going to come to your line at the bone and take off above that big pad. Then I like to come to the front, and so you can see how you kind of got your line set out on either side. So then I'll hold my finger and my thumb. I feel this bone in their foot, and I will put my fingers across right above it so that I know where my bone is at all times, to know where that line goes. So then I'll take all this off the top and do a nice clean line. So then you have these stubborn hairs around the toenails, and what I like to do for that is I will turn my clippers backwards and come from the toenail toward the foot, and see how that just gets those hairs away from the toenail so you can have a really nice clean foot. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure, I'm just letting the clippers kind of glide across the foot. You don't want to dig the clippers in. So now I'm going to come back in between the toes and get all the hairs that I didn't get from the underside. Now you have a nice clean foot.